Hi, my name is Michael with Windows Phone Central, and today we're taking a look at Lenovo's ThinkPad Tablet 2. The thing you'll notice right away when you take this unit out of the box is extremely how thin it is. Check this out. It is a 0.32-inch tablet. That's very thin, thinner than Microsoft Surface RT, but it still manages to pack full Windows 8. And even Windows 8 Pro, if you desire to throw that on. No downgraded RT. You can run all of your favorite legacy apps and all of the new apps in the Windows Store. Take a look around the device first. To start out with, the bottom. This is very ThinkPad-esque, very simple. The bottom has a dock connector and a mini HDMI port. The HDMI port is nice to see. We would have preferred a display port, probably a little thick to put on this guy since they made it so thin. But a display port really would have allowed a lot of analog or digital out connections, including VGA, which for a businessman who needs a ThinkPad Tablet 2, there's a lot of VGA connectors and for projectors in offices. On the right hand side, let's see if we can angle that to get some light. On the right hand side we have volume up and down grouped together, a headphone jack, and also a rotation lock button. This is a great addition. With my Surface RT I was constantly going into the hardware menu, so nice little click of a button there. The only complaint is that it's easy to click, it's easy to mispress. So a lot of times I'll put it in my bag and I'll find out when I took it out that it was disabled. But it is a nice gesture to have it on there. On the top we have a power button in the upper right hand corner, and in the center we have one of two doors. This door opens and comes down. We're not a fan of these doors, by the way, since age and experience seems to show they will break off or just refuse to sit properly after years of use. But under this one we have a micro SD card slot and a SIM card slot if you opt for the mobile broadband. Now this SIM card slot is going to be here no matter what, but it's essentially an empty shell unless you have purchased the broadband. So sticking your SIM card in there will not do anything. There is no technology behind that port in this example because this one does not have broadband. So that's just a empty silo, so to call it. Speaking of silos, if we go all the way to the right hand side, you see this hole. And this hole holds nothing more than the ThinkPad stylus. So the stylus slides nicely in. We're so happy to have a tablet that integrates the stylus. So many, like Microsoft Surface Pro and the Sony Duos, they don't actually have a stylus port. So you have to either magnetically attach it or just carry it in your bag. So this is so nice that it fits right in here. Look how thin that is. Super thin. It also means the pen's a bit thin, so not everyone will feel comfortable writing with it. I have no issue. Some people find it a little thinner than they wish. The stylus itself actually has a clicker, so we can right click or assign other duties to the pen's button. There is no raised texture or bump here though, so we're not really aware where it is. It's hard to find it. It would be nice to have a raised dot on the pen, just so we knew where that button was. But it's nice that it stores away. If you actually look at the profile, let's look at it from the front, you see they did some very interesting work here. It actually appears rounded on the left end where the silo port is, and then straighter here, but it's just tempered back. So it lays flat. If we put it down, it does lay flat. But it gives a nice impression of this mold here that we have at the end. It's very nice looking. And on the left hand side we have the second door that we spoke about. This is the door you'll probably actually use. This is a USB 2.0 port right in there. It is 2.0, there is no 3.0 as this is an Intel Atom powered processor, so we're limited by the architecture there. We also have the charging. It's a micro USB charging port, so you can go ahead and charge from there with the included adapter. On the front of the unit itself, not much here. There's a very slight ThinkPad logo in the upper right hand corner. The top, if I can angle the camera in, there is a webcam up there along with the standard webcam indicator. So if you're paranoid, like many seem to be today, you can see if anyone's watching you. And finally at the bottom we actually have a hardware. Check that out. This is a hardware Windows 8 start screen button. So unlike the Surface, it's not capacitive. You actually have to click in on it. I did have the Surface before this, which is why I'm going to reference it so many times. In addition to the the Microsoft Surface is kind of the star device. So that's kind of what we're comparing it against. But we see it's actually a click button. A little weird to get used to when I first transitioned to this tablet. But it's actually very nice because the button doesn't accidentally press. When you're writing with the pen, your hand doesn't glide over and cause it to switch. So very nice there. The back is very enterprisey, very plain and boring. We have some more logos, ThinkPad, Lenovo. We have another camera. It's a 720p camera. They included a flash, which is very nice. Happy to see that. Although not very happy to see people take photos with a tablet. But it's nice to have it just in case you need it. And the lower left hand corner is sticker heaven. So we have the Pro Windows 8 sticker, Intel inside, and a bunch of stuff that's so in gray you can probably hardly see it. It's actually FCC environmental regulation notices. They did a pretty good job. All the stickers are actually black if you can't tell. They're kind of hard to see except for that Windows sticker, but they hide themselves quite nicely so you don't have to remove them as you would with a lot of other tablets. But that is it's a hardware look at the device. In terms of software, there's not much special. They do preload with Lenovo's own support software. Now, I'm actually running Windows 8.1 Consumer Preview on here. This is, I love this device so much that this has become my personal tablet. Like I said before I reviewed this, I had the Surface RT. They have included their own software on here, which is something you're probably just going to rip off right away. But if you don't, and you're interested in seeing what there is, we have Lenovo Companion. So this was also, a lot of this stuff was seen if you read our Think Center review a little while back. I think it was a month or two ago. Some of this software is across all of their lines of machines. Okay. And this app, we kind of found this app to be junk. It really is. Okay, there we go. It's essentially a bulletin board for advertisements. We really don't see what the point of this companion app is. I guess they throw in some cool things like how to edit pictures and videos. So if you're really new to Windows 8, there's some interesting how-tos in here. But otherwise, it kind of just feels like they're throwing advertisements at you. And yeah, it feels like spamware. So if Lenovo is trying to do a helpful app, like a companion, they should try a little harder, because I feel like they're trying to trick me into buying something. The other app is a little bit more helpful. This is the Settings app. We saw this on their Think Center machine also, although in this unit there is actually a collection of useful features. Now you're seeing the slow loading process, which we'll talk about in a second. So we have power, location awareness, camera, audio, so we can click through all of this. It tells us, it should tell us, there we go, the status of the battery. I have low battery life, but good battery condition. So, little stuff, you don't need it, interesting to have, good to have. The audio and camera configurations are nice, so you can configure exactly how the unit will either suppress keyboard noise or not. We can go into the camera. You might see me. Let's see what happens. Oh, there I am, and there's the camera. Hello. Overall, the Lenovo settings are pretty useful. That's about it. The other app that they include is something called Lenovo Quick Snip, which include a desktop and a Metro version of it, which is kind of weird. But it allows you to basically configure, if we go ahead and take that pen out, it allows you to configure this pen here to have the I don't want to call it right-click button, but the pen button will allow you to basically act as print screen, and then allow you to select a part of the screen to copy. Not really too useful. I preferred Windows' own tool, which I believe is called Snip. That works really well. but it was nice for Lenovo to go ahead and give that a try. The thing everyone's probably wondering out is how the handwriting recognition works in here, and it works pretty darn well. Go ahead and take out the stylus. I'm going to head over to Internet Explorer. Uh-oh, my Facebook page is loading. Okay, and there we go. You can see all the sites I visit. And we get this kind of writing. If you haven't seen this yet in Windows 8, we have a line to write. So let's write. So I'm going to erase this. Let's write. I don't know, where can we go? Let's go to Bing. Let's do a Bing search. So here we are at Bing. And let's search Bing for, I guess, Windows Phone. Windows. Now you're going to see my handwriting is quite horrible, but the tablet does a decent job at recognizing it. So there we go, Windows Phone Central, it got that completely. And there you go. So the handwriting, actually, the recognition works really well. Palm rejection is also up there and does a very nice job. I've never seen perfect palm rejection, but this comes pretty darn close in terms of accuracy. The screen itself is a beautiful IPS display. It's got extreme viewing angles. I've seen a lot of IPS displays, but I've never seen one that really lets us get this extreme. I mean, look at this. We're almost looking at this from a 180-degree angle, and the colors don't even... Oh, there you go. I forgot to turn off. Forgot to turn on the rotation lock. But it looks beautiful from any angle. It's a gorgeous screen. There's great contrast between the blacks. If you can see this, try to zoom in. There's the Kindle logo. You can just see such a much of vibrance of color there. The dark black of the Kindle background opposed to the colors around it. Contrast is beautiful on this unit. It's a 1366 by 768 resolution display. It actually works quite nicely since this is only a 10.1 inch tablet. It's actually a little bit smaller than Microsoft's Surface device. That being said, it actually looks really nice. We don't really have an issue with seeing pixels up close or anything looking jagged. A 1600 by 900 display probably would have been nicer to have as an option, and probably welcomed by the community. 1080 not really needed on here, but I'm sure a lot of you are going to say it is and that you want it. But overall, they did a great job on that screen. So, wrapping up with Lenovo's ThinkPad tablet, it's a gorgeous design. It's a very minimal design, very business enterprise, something you wouldn't mind bringing into your boardroom, very thin. Performance on the unit is an Intel Atom, so we do have a bit of a performance setback at times, which you saw when I was trying to load various things. The system doesn't always want to go through things super quick, and you will get tombstoning of apps sometimes, which is a bit annoying. So, but otherwise, if you're just doing one or two things, it runs really smoothly. Once again, not a powerhouse. But the Atom processor lets us have this thin figure and the extreme battery life, which Lenovo rates for over 10 hours. If you're watching video, we were able to get easily over 10 hours on full brightness surfing the web. So I'm sure if you turned it down, I'm a little blind when it comes to displays. I like fully bright displays. I'm sure if you turned it down, you get a heck of a lot more battery life out of it too. Overall, a great tablet. It starts in the $500 to $600 range for a 64GB unit without the pen. You can pay a little bit extra and get the pen, which also includes Windows 8 Pro Edition. If you want the mobile broadband, you're going to have to pay another $100 per respective model, and they'll throw in the LTE broadband, which works off AT&T's network. Overall, a great tablet, and if you're looking for an Atom tablet, this is the one to go for. This is the ultra-thin, great performance, great touchscreen, great battery life unit. If you need something a little bit more powerful, and you need it now, we recommend checking out Microsoft Surface Pro, which also includes a stylus. It's a little bit thicker, less battery life, but you'll get that power. So if you have to work on Photoshop or anything like this tablet's more for, we can do light sketching or anything of that sort, but nothing extreme. If you want to stay in the ThinkPad family, just wait a little bit longer and the ThinkPad Yoga will be coming out, which you can check that out on Windows Phone Central. We went ahead and reported on that. That is a beautiful machine that should be coming out quite soon, actually. Yeah, I believe it's in November. And that is a foldable Ultrabook hybrid from Lenovo. So this has been the ThinkPad Tablet 2 review from Windows Phone Central. You can go ahead and head over to our website to read the full review, get more details, and comment and discuss with other readers. Have a great day, guys.